Hello my friends, and welcome to The King is Watching. Hope you're all doing well. So I'm not joking when I say that I've done nothing today but play this game. It was time for me to record a video, and I was like, oh no, I'm gonna have to stop playing The King is Watching. And then I went, wait, what if I didn't have to stop playing? So the path before me was clear. I've really been enjoying this game. I have been playing for several hours now. I've unlocked about half the stuff and I'm on the middle difficulty settings. So I'm just going to dive right in. And I will kind of talk about what the game is about as we go. We're going to be defending our kingdom from hordes of approaching monsters as King Baldwin. I also have, for those of you more familiar with the game, I'm using the Automaton, Silkweaver, and Twins advisors. These are just the ones that I've unlocked up to this point. And we're on difficulty 5, so enemies are doing more damage and have more health. Bosses curse us with various penalties. We start with minus 150 gold, and our castle is covered in garbage that we're going to have to clear before we can actually build buildings. But other than that, let's just get right into it, and I'll talk about the game as we are actually playing it. So, the first thing that happens is we get a little sneak peek of which boss we're going to fight, and we're going to fight Goblin Warlord Gorzog. One thing that I really like about this game is that, although you can just ignore the flavor and writing, it's actually really well done. I really find these descriptions very amusing, and that always adds something to a game here. Warlord Gorzog is just going to be a straight DPS check. He does a lot of damage, has a lot of health, so we just need a high damage party or unit composition in order to defeat him. We also get to start with a nice little bonus for ourselves, so I can start with 2 swordsmen and 100 wood, 6 black sheep that don't fight but make my other troops happier, or 100 wheat and 100 wine. I think I'm going to start with the swordsman and the wood, and then we're going to get into the game here. This is a pretty good pattern. We have these enchanted tiles that speed up our production. So as you can see here, we've got our little kingdom. This is where we're going to build production buildings and things that will summon troops to help defend our kingdom from incoming waves of enemies. But the gimmick of this game is that buildings only work when you're looking at them. So we have this tile that's our gaze, and we can only operate buildings if we're actually looking at them. So what I'm going to do to start is I'm going to turn it like this so that we're looking at this pile of rocks, because I want to clear the special tile for us to use as quickly as possible, and then we're going to put down 2 wells so that we can get some extra water, and that'll let us get our first production buildings online. Then I'm going to go to maximum speed. You can see here we've got our 2 little swordsmen that we started with and 2 alchemists. Those are a curse from the boss, who they just fill our troop slots and just are useless and take up space. And then we're going to put down a wheat field here, and now that we've cleared that out, I'm also going to put down a tree so that we can get some additional wood, and then we're going to wait until we have a little bit of extra water in order to summon some more militia, which is our king's unique ability. Costs 30 water, summons 3 peasants, and so those will help us resist the first wave. At this point, I think I'm also going to move this well, and we'll put down a market. And with that market, we're going to start selling wheat from our wheat field here. We start with minus 150 gold, so in order to do anything that takes gold, we need to sell a lot of wheat. So I need to get that started pretty early. Then we're just going to wait for the first wave to come, while we're building up a pretty good stockpile of resources at this point. Because I have the wheat field on the enhanced tile, even though we're selling wheat, it still gives us more than we're spending. And you can see we've got 1 little goblin bandit, but our starting band of soldiers should be plenty to take that out. And we get some coins. We get a barracks. I'm going to buy the archery. Archers, I think, are by far the best of the starting troops, at least from what I've found. They do cost gold, so we're going to need a bunch of gold for that to get those guys set up. But the archery is useful. And then we get a production building. Because we have archers, I could take the iron mine to get that set up. I'm going to take the clay mine, though, because that'll be useful for later on. And then we're going to go into this screen, where we get to set up the next 3 waves that we're going to face. one of the really fun mechanics in this game is you get to actually choose what you're fighting against. You get more rewards if you take on harder challenges, but obviously you have to balance that against being able to actually kill them. This is a pretty bad set of possible units for us, I think, and possible rewards. I think I'll go with the bandit and the crossbowman, and then we get barracks for our first fight. Our second fight is going to be probably just 4 bandits, and we get a barracks, and then the last one is going to be the production building. And then I do want to get at least either the troop training or the building upgrade here. Do I think I can take 4 bandits and a shaman? Probably not. 2 crossbowmen and a shaman from wave 3. Maybe we can do that. So I'm going to put those down here. So wave 3 is going to be a little tougher because I put down one of the harder things to fight against. Here I can get a troop training, make my troops a little tougher. I can get 50 wood and 3 peasants, but we can buy those for just water because we're King Baldwin. So I'm just going to take 100 wood here. That will get us nicely set up to improve our troops, and it means that I can put down something else other than this tree and get a few more troops. I also want to clear a couple more of these tiles, so let's go ahead and rotate here, and we'll clear the swamp, because that'll get me 50 wood, which will let me summon 3 more peasants, so we can fight these upcoming waves a little bit better. Meanwhile, we're just plugging away at our debt, and then we can go back to this, and that's fine. Pretty happy with where we're at right now. And immediately summon these to get this on cooldown again. And then I do need a little bit more water, so I'm just gonna wait until the wheat is out, and then we'll move one of these wells back here in order to get a little bit more water so we can rebuild a wheat field as soon as possible. Then we're fighting these guys. We'll do it in slow motion so you can see whether we're winning or not, and we did. Get some coins and another barracks. The Whipmen buff your other units, and I really like having a couple of these in my party composition or my unit composition later on, so I think I'll take that over the Swordsman. I'm also going to sell these peasant huts. When building upgrades show up, they can show up for any building that you own, and I don't want to upgrade my peasant huts, so I'm not going to worry about having those. And then I'm going to keep going until we have 55 water here, so we can put down a wheat field, and then we're going to move the well, put 50 water, then we'll put down a wheat field. Go back to fast time. And let's spend that water on some more wood. Maybe I should have done more wheat, actually. So I've got positive gold now. I need to get to 60 gold in order to upgrade the size of my gaze, and then we can have more buildings operating at once. So that's why I've been emphasizing gold so heavily currently. And also it'll let us get our archers online and our whipmen online. This fighting force should be sufficient to take on 4 bandits here, so I don't have to build anything really quick. We already have an archer building, so let's grab some hunters. They can slow enemies, and we can build them right away. They don't take any gold or anything, so we should be able to use those pretty well. But I'm going to wait for the income to tick a little bit more, and then we're going to immediately upgrade our gaze size. And then I think I want these 2 spaces. I also want 50 water, and I want some more iron, because that will let me build my archery. So I'm going to move my gaze over here, and we'll chop down a couple more tiles. Currently have 0 water, so I can't summon peasants, but as soon as this swamp gets chopped, I will have 50 more water. So we'll spend 25 of that on that. And then let's put down a clay mine, because our next gaze upgrade requires clay, so I want to use my clay mine at least a little bit here. Bunch of enemies incoming. I think we should be okay at this point with the force that we have again. They're mostly ranged units, so we can hopefully beat down pretty quickly. I am losing a couple units here, so some of our starting units are starting to go away. But we get 2 more easy waves after this, and so we'll be able to transition our troop composition to something a little better. I definitely want an iron mine, because we have a couple units that take iron, and currently I've got peasants and whipmen who are grunt-type units, and nothing else. So, yeah, I think 15% peasant damage is still fine. I'm definitely just going to grab that. I will also upgrade our unit limit twice here, because I have a ton of extra wood, actually. And then we'll put down an iron mine. Get your jokes out in the comments. And I need more water as well, so let's move that here. And I'll just let this tick for a bit. I'm also going to spend 20 gold on speeding up our production. And then once we have about 50 water, I'm going to move that and put down more wheat because we need that to be able to sell it. This is just 4 bandits, so it's a very easy wave coming up. Our remaining set of peasants should be able to just clear that pretty easily. So we're just going to stockpile resources while we wait for that one to get deleted by us. And we get our first trader. So here we've got 60 denarii, which we can use to buy artifacts. This will give us metal when we kill an enemy. This buffs our warrior type units. I don't think we have any right now, but we'll probably get some later. And sawmills and trees damage enemies when they're working. I wish it said how much they damage enemies when they're working. We could also buy some more advanced production buildings. Like we could buy this pumpkin field for pumpkin warriors or a tile enchanter. But that costs fuel, which we don't have any of yet. I could also upgrade the capacity of a couple of our existing barracks, but I think we're just going to take the warrior buff. That'll be pretty relevant later on when we get a couple more warrior type units. I've got plenty of iron right now, and I still need more gold to upgrade this, but I also need more wheat. And I don't need more clay, so I'm just going to move the clay. It'll take a production penalty next time where we go to use it, but we just don't need it right now, and I really need to get some troops on the field at this time, so let's put an archery down, and we can keep, we can build some archers while we're continuing to mine out the rest of these tiles. I also need to get a little more water because I currently don't have any to build militia with. So I'm just going to put my archery somewhere else. I won't move it yet, but later on we'll just want this tile to produce other things. But I think for water, I'm just going to mine out this swamp, and then this wooden debris will give us some wood and also let us use that tile again. And I'm going to swap this to selling ore because we have plenty of iron and we don't have very much wheat. Let's put down a tree. And I think our unit composition should again be sufficient to take out this goblin giant, but I'll summon some peasants just in case. I'm also going to spend 30 gold on getting 90 resources, and yeah, I mean, we'll just turn 30 gold into 90 gold. Seems like a good deal to me. Lost all our peasants there, but that's totally fine. Grab a barracks, and again, we get a choice of these like lower level units. We'll take an assassin's temple. You want to vary your unit composition because the more different units you have, the higher your morale is. Different kings have different morale effects, but ours just makes us do straight up more damage. Take the big well there, it makes water faster. And then I've already got plenty of clay, but we're using an advisor that gives us extra trees and wheat fields, so I'm just going to take that. 10% faster resources or return 10% of resources. Let's just go with 10% faster. Take a basic production, and now we get to set up our next couple waves. So let's take a look at the options here. We can do basic production. We don't really need more basic production buildings. There's a couple resource types that we're a little shy of, but we don't really need any of those. So I'm going to try to take the resource bonuses, which can be higher level resources. So I think we're just going to do a pretty straightforward setup like this. And then what do I want to add? There's a spell in the possible optional waves here, and that could let me take a very hard wave if I use the spell to win that wave for us. There's a lot of damage spells that we could use to just blow up a bunch of enemies. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to put the spell here, I'll put the building upgrade here, and then we'll take the 2 high-level enemy groups here. 2 giants is pretty tough with 4 bandits, so I don't really want to add in the goblin pig and the goblin bandit. I could swap the established production here for the kingdom infrastructure building, which gives us some more options, but I think I like this, so let's go with that. A little punished here. I really like to get 50 grapes early because of this, which lets you upgrade your gaze just for 50 grapes. This is a possible event. But let's just go ahead and we'll just take 100 gold. Just getting resource boosts is always so nice for this game. And then I just need some extra wheat at the moment here. So let's go over here and we'll put down... I need some more troops to survive the next couple of waves. So let's do the Assassin's Temple and we'll mine out this wheat how I mine for wheat in order to get a couple more units on the field. And then the Assassin's Temple, I'm going to move down here. We're just going to put the archery down here as well. I could spend 50 gold on some whipmen. Yeah, let's do that. And then we'll put down another wheat field, and we'll slowly climb up to the 80 that we need in order to upgrade our gaze size, and then we can start getting water as well. Why is this not making units here? I'm actually... Oh, it just finished. That's why. Alright, so now we've got a couple whipmen. I need to get some more wheat on the field as well, so that we can... And now we can actually turn like this and use all 3 of our improved tiles. And then we'll just move the well over here. Actually, let's use the big well to get more water. And then once we get a little more wheat, we can put down the hunters and have a fully set up unit composition for the early game. So things are looking up here. Do we have enough to start building hunters? We do. So let's go ahead and do that. And I'm going to use 20 gold also to speed up our production. Definitely would have liked to get another Raised Militia cast in here as well, because we're definitely going to lose a bunch of units in this spot and have to replace them. Yeah, our assassin died. Fortunately, he's relatively cheap to replace, I think. Oh, wait, actually, we don't have the metal to replace him, so we're going to need an iron mine soon. 45 ore. How much does he cost to replace? Just 10. So I could take the 45 ore resource boost, and I think we will, and then we don't have to build a metal mine to replace our assassin. And we'll take a spell, and the spell we're going to take is this fire, so we can use it in 2 waves to help clear this much more difficult wave. Right, because I sold all my ore, so let's go back to selling wheat. So that was a slight mistake there. And then, yeah, there's no way I can do this, but I can just move this and we'll put the well back. It'll have a production speed penalty for a minute, but that's totally fine. Here, I'm going to put down this basic production building. That will turn into an advanced production or basic construction building. That'll turn into an advanced production building for one of the basic resources. In this case, probably just wood. And we've got our assassin back now, so I'm fully set up on units. I'll summon some more militia. And then we'll go back to using this pattern to look at things. Definitely want to clear some more tiles, because we're going to need that space to put down more buildings soon, but I think we're in pretty good shape. And then, actually, let's go with an iron mine, because I am going to need more iron. We have no other way to produce it right now. Do I need wheat for anything? Not really, so I can just keep selling that. I would love to get a gold mine. So this one, our units should be able to take care of this fight just on their own. Let's go back to 1x speed. I do need to get more wood, though, because I want to increase our total unit count. I also need a way to heal my troops, either a hospital or some healing mages, but hopefully we're offered one of those soon enough. Here, I'm going to grab a great bush. We have no way to make this resource yet, and then let's get an upgrade. The iron mine can passively increase my warrior's HP and damage, and that's probably just the way to go. What I'll do here is I'll mine this to almost being empty, and then we'll just move it somewhere else on the map where it can just give us that passive buff forever. And then as soon as this wheat field is out, let's put down some wood, because I really want to upgrade my unit limit. I didn't get offered any barracks, which is kind of a problem. I definitely want some more advanced troops. This composition is fine at this point, but not great. And then let's put down this fire here so we can set a few of these on fire and hopefully finish off most of the enemies. This was not a great spell, and the enemies do have a healer, so this could be a more challenging wave than I was hoping. We have a lot of archers, and we were able to... let's make sure I'm also not just mining empty space while we're doing this. Gotta juggle some things while you're going, and we'll try to replace our assassin here. So I think we're just gonna barely survive, but it's gonna be fairly expensive in terms of troops. Actually, our hunters do almost no damage, so this could be a real problem. Let me use a tribute here. We'll get some flour. That's an advanced resource that's hard to produce otherwise. And then we're gonna make these troops pretty slow, but we can also mine out these two bases while we're doing it. And the assassin is actually gonna kill at least one of these enemy goblins. All right, nice. I got both of them. So we survived. This spell didn't work out the way I hoped, but we did make it through. I'll take wine because we have no way to make that right now. And then currently we have assassins and whipmen here, or crossbowmen and hunters. Just going to buff our ranged units' damage. That just seems good. We'll grab an advanced crystal mine, which again, we have no way to make crystals currently. And then we need to replace all our troops here. Fortunately, we've got 2 easy waves coming up, so we can just sit here, replace all these troops. Gonna get a little bit of extra water while we're waiting for this one to finish. I don't want to move too many of these buildings. Like, I could have moved them and replaced those with something else, but then they would, again, build slower later on. So I think it's better to do it this way. We've got plenty of water at the moment. Let's put down... I have no crystals. I could use... What are we really missing? I guess just crystals. So we'll just put down the crystal mine here. Wow, our assassins are just getting obliterated. It's really, really unfortunate. But we get a trader. Unfortunately, I'm 10 denarii short of being able to buy an artifact, but we can get an upgrade here. So I can get my archers to stun. I can get my hunters to poison. I could also buy a fairy fountain, which just gives us resources every 10 seconds without needing to be watched, which is pretty nice. Or I could get an enchanted stump, which is slightly more advanced troops. We don't have enough flour to build it yet. I could also take a gold iron mine, which makes 2 resources at once, but slower. I don't really like these combined production buildings because slower is really bad. I think what we're going to do here is take the poison on the hunters. I'm really not sure about that purchase, honestly, but seems like a reasonable one to me. Let's raise militia so we get that back on cooldown. And then I'm just going to grab some more resources. Let's use boost production here as well. I also need to hit 600 gold at some point, so I'm still trying to sell stuff. I could switch to selling flour, which sells for 3 gold. And we have 90 flour, so that's 270 extra gold. It does mean I'll need another way to make flour if I want to make troops that require it, but this seems really good, because getting the sixth tile that we can use at once is really powerful. All right. more cash, another levy barracks. I'm probably just gonna... I'm not gonna build whatever levy barracks we use here, because I need a better unit composition, so I'm just gonna recycle that. Here, let's take another crystal mine. We'll take an established production. I don't have enough metal to build this gold mine, so let's take a vineyard. And then healing pool. This will heal my allies. I was hoping for a spell that could damage enemies, but this is fine. Receive 1 wine for each well or big well in your castle every 10 seconds. Or we get 1 of each basic production. Let's go with the cupbearer's vessel. And then I need to make sure that my wells are out on the field, so we're getting wine constantly. And then again, we get to choose our enemies. Lots of denarii, so we should be able to get a decent setup there. Let's put the sun-faced, the really big guy at the end. I think 1 lizard and 5 crossbowmen, like so. And then... can I fight 2 lizards for an advanced production? Advanced production is pretty helpful. I do really want that. Let's fight 2 lizards here. And then I don't really need a levy barrack, so we'll put down the wall busters. The 1 giant is kind of a pain, but I think we can fight this guy here as well. And the levy barracks I'm just going to pass on, I think, because these are starting to look like fairly difficult waves. These goblin lizards charge around and deal damage to everything, which makes them pretty dangerous. So let's go with this. And then 50% chance of 2 building upgrades, or 7 permanent morale, which is just 7% damage to all of our troops forever. Let's go with the 50% chance. Unlucky. Should have taken the morale there. Gonna upgrade my troop size. We don't have more barracks yet, and I guess we aren't getting any. So maybe that was a mistake. And here I'm gonna put down this research table, because this is gonna give us more production buildings forever, and we are starting to run a little low. And what else do I need? I need wood, so let's put a tree down there. We do have 1 spell to help protect us, so it could be worse. Slow down to normal speed here. I think I'm not going to use my spell yet, and we'll just replace any troops that die. There goes our assassin again. Having the assassin as our only melee troop except for peasants is not working out well for him. Alright, so definitely this was a more difficult wave than I thought. I may have overspent on these waves and we might be kind of in trouble. But we can replace all these other units now. Or, not overspent. Underspent and overpromised. Alright, assassin, kill at least a couple of these before you go down again. For the 90th time. Oh, we're also out of wine, which wine gives you extra morale, so it's a pretty big damage boost as well. An established production building here. Let's grab a sawmill and more clay. I don't really have a good way to make clay. These wells are fine, but I think I'm going to replace one of them with a tree, just so we're getting a little wood here. Actually, maybe I should have rotated so we were opening up those tiles, but I really want to spend most of my time just on this tile. I also need to swap to selling iron again, so we can make some more money. And let's do 30 resources of our choice. Let's take 90 metal. That'll help us build higher level production buildings. And then here, I'm going to grab a big well for faster water. Alright, so in this fight, I'm definitely using the healing pool. I'm going to put that down where it covers the most of our troops that I can get. And hopefully we can kill most of the enemies before everything dies. Yeah, let's do it this way. Kingdom infrastructure. So I can get the Wheel of Fortune, make some resources. I can get the concert to increase our production speed. I can get the king statue for faster cooldown, but it costs crystals constantly. I really don't like this. I think I'm going to reroll here because I'm hoping for, this is exactly it, a hospital, because that can heal up my units faster. And then here, I am going to finish mining those out. Let's put down the tree, because I need some more wood. Speed this up, and we'll do a big well here and move the other well. Get a bunch of water, because why not? I just want to finish emptying out this tile. And then here, what I'm going to do is put the hospital here, and that way we can be healing while we're fighting. And hopefully we can take this guy on without too much challenge. What other production building do I need? Let's go ahead and drop the sawmill here, and it can just constantly provide wood. I'm going to need to move the hospital onto an enchanted tile, but we have this tile enchanter. Actually, let's just do that now. I'm just going to spend a bunch of money on that. It's very expensive to do it this way, but this way we end up getting that right away. All right, so advanced production, I'm going to take the forge here. Getting a source of metal is awesome. A lot of the best units require metal, so having a forge ready matters a lot. And then I'll probably need to stop selling iron at some point. Or I can actually just transition into selling metal too if I want. We've got plenty of basic production, so let's put the forge down here. And then I'm going to just start selling wheat again. For now. Swap our tiles like this. I also am not using crystals for anything, so let's put some wheat down. Oh, I need to replace my assassin as well. Get some more peasants on the field. And here come a few more enemies. Need to make sure that my hospital is working. And here we go. So now I've got a bunch of money. I can buy some artifacts. I can also buy some more advanced buildings, though honestly, there's nothing here that's looking particularly exciting. Let's get 2 wine when we kill an enemy, and damage dealt by spells plus 25%. Those seem pretty good. I really want to get to 600 gold, so given that we have no way to spend our metal yet, let's go ahead and start selling it. Then we can get to 600 gold and upgrade our gaze as quickly as possible. And now we've got a boss fight incoming. I don't know that this unit composition is anywhere near good enough to fight the boss, honestly. I was really hoping for some better units at this point. Use a resource upgrade as well. Pick up 90 gold so we can get to that faster. Build some peasants. And we've at least killed those lizards. We're doing a little bit of damage to them, but yeah, this is looking pretty grim. I'm gonna need to start replacing units very fast. Let's replace our assassin. This poor guy. We also haven't killed the enemy healer. Alright, assassin replaced, and let's go over here. I'll put down, I guess, a clay mine while we're just building these units. Assassin, oh, nice. The assassin actually got on the healer there, which is great. So that gives us a little bit of extra time and effort. Slowly replacing all of these units still. So I think we'll survive the boss, but barely, I think. But this is definitely... This difficulty setting is harder than the ones I've played before, I think. Just because enemies do so much more damage. So it's starting to be a little more challenging. So I definitely need a couple more units to show up. Fortunately, I've stockpiled a lot of resources, so we're able to get this going. He just turns and squashes my guys immediately as soon as they show up. Really brutal, and we're taking so much damage on our keep here. 900 hit points to get through. I don't think we're gonna make it. The hunters are just so low damage. I guess they do poison. So as soon as those pop out, we get a poison proc on him. Alright, let's get some peasants. They can bonk him with their little poking sticks. But I'm also going to run out of money soon to replace all these troops that he's killing. Oh. Okay, okay. The poison is starting to do work. I really want... I can't... yeah, let's move the Assassin Temple, actually, because I can't take time out. So I'm just going to move it. It'll have a production penalty. I should have done that much earlier. I kept thinking I could swap to up there to replace the Assassin, but... If I had done that a lot earlier, this would have been much safer. So I think we're going to barely survive, but I have really let my castle get massively damaged in ways that I was not hoping for. But we lived, and we'll have to replace our units now. Let's put a well here for now. And just replace these unit compositions. And at least now we get a fancy barracks. Legendary artifact, I'm going to go with... Ooh. This is... I think let's go with increased unit limit. A legendary spell. This can help us just win a wave. So we'll take the Armageddon. Veteran barracks. This is our first upgraded set of units. I could take the longbowmen. We have ways to make metal. And these are our first actual real damage unit. So let's take them. I'll pick up the gold mine as well, because we have metal, so we can use it. And for our troop training, we've got a lot of ranged units, so let's just upgrade their health. Okay, so here we get a veteran barracks, which we desperately need, so I definitely want that. Actually, I'm just going to put both barrackses, and then we can upgrade our troop composition. And then we'll do a kingdom infrastructure, and I think we're better at fighting one big unit than a bunch of small units with our current setup. We don't have any AoE or anything. I'll do an upgrade here, and actually let's do 2 spells to help me fight this next set, and troop training, and then I think we can get away with just doing all of these waves. Ooh, really interesting. So we can get 100 furniture, that's just to sell for money. Get an artifact or get 110 metal. I think let's just take the artifact. Money is not a problem because we have the forge to sell metal, and metal is not a problem because we have the forge to make metal. And then next up we've got Volkar the Gold Hoarder, a dragon coming up. Okay. During each wave, the enemy at the highest HP will be reborn when they die. Spell damage reduced by 50%. Yikes, those are really bad. But the stupid alchemists went away, so we get a little more control over our unit composition now. Let's put down the longbowmen. I'm just gonna make my troop setup down here. Why are those not building? What do I need? I need wheat. Okay, wheat is our bottleneck right now. Troops are produced 20% faster, or when one of them dies, we get an explosive scarecrow. Let's go with faster. We got choked enough on production there. I really want to recover that quickly. Spending all our wheat on reproducing all these units. Let's swap, and we can do like this. Start getting some longbowmen going. Had to pause to sneeze, but we're back, and let's boost production so we can get these longbowmen faster. I'm also going to spend some money on upgrading. We'll just take a bunch of wine. Oh wait, I'm a little short on gold now, so kind of messed up there, but we'll just sell some gold for a bit and then go back here, finish our longbowmen, and then we'll go here, get our hospital working, and then we can start getting more wheat as well when we swap back around like this. Also, I've got plenty of max troops, so let's do raise militia. These 2 veteran barracks are going to be huge for us. Hopefully. Okay, so this is... I think this composition should be able to beat this wave. I'm going to swap around so our hospital is helping us stay alive, even though this big guy is going to come back once. Okay, a bunch of units just died, so let's go ahead and start rebuilding them. Well, maybe I should have spent the spell here. I'm really not used to enemies doing this much damage, so I'm just losing too many units in every wave. It's costing me a lot of money. Okay, we've got metal for the Falcons camp. This gets us a champion black swordsman who's pretty tough. Worm Riders, I really like these guys. They pop up behind the enemies. We are still bottlenecked on wheat. But I think I'm going to take the Worm Riders, and the Academy of Fire is more long-ranged units. Druids of the Badger are ranged units that turn into melee units, and I think I need more melee stuff. Let's go ahead and turn enemies into sheep, and we'll take Roots. I really like the Roots spell. So I need wheat. Is the current challenge. I guess we actually don't need to run the hospital at all. I'm selling all my metal, which is going to make getting some of these more difficult, but I just have to get some troops on the field here. So how many of these can I build? I'm not building the longbowman because we don't have wheat. I'm not building the assassin because we don't have wheat. All right, well, that's easy. So let's go ahead and do this. We'll mine some wheat for a while. I guess I need a wheat production building really fast. And then here, I'm going to turn them into sheep as soon as we start fighting. But things are getting kind of tense, as you can see. In part because I messed up the boss fight so bad. We should not be in this position. Alright, let's turn these guys into sheep. The big one will come back, but I really can't afford to lose more units in these fights. Or at least not too many more. Although the assassin is dying every time. This golem is really tough as well. Oh, I'm falling so far behind here. I don't really care about any of these. Let's get the Worshipper's Sanctuary. I don't have a way to make black sheep right now, but we can get that later on. Forge makes ranged troops better, but doubling our longbowman damage seems really important. And then let's just increase our ranged unit damage as well. And then I've got 0 wheat again, and we also don't have a really good way to make wheat right now. So I need to start researching. I need to get my research table back active. So let's move that here. Boost production. We'll raise militia as well, because I'm running into another big fight. Unfortunately, this Armageddon spell is just not that good against these guys, but I think I need to use it anyways. At least get them to half, and then when it respawns, we'll use the other thing. Got 72 wheat. So we've got it respawned. I'm going to try to knock them back and poison them with the Roots spell, and that should drop couple more of these guys. Got a couple more units on the field, but whoa, this is getting rough. Killed that one. Doubling our longbowman damage, though, was massive. So we made it through that. Let's grab a gold mine and a sawmill. I'm really hoping for, a wheat field. That's what we need, because we were running so low on that. And then what I need to do, I think we've got plenty of iron for now. So let's move this. I'll put the big well here because I need more water. And then we can swap that to the big wheat field later on. Let's also do request tribute here. Okay, it just grows the amount of gold we have. That's fine. Swap this around now that we've healed everything. At least we've got some easy waves coming up, but this is starting to get pretty hairy. And how many of these? So we need 20 wheat per there, 10 per there, and then 15 there. Oof. All right. I still just have to start building some units, though, because if I don't have more units, we're just getting... Oh, let me upgrade my gaze size, though, because we did get more gold. So that'll pause production on my longbowman, but I wasn't building that anyways for a bit. And then we can make up some more wheat here. I have also run out of ways to make iron, right? We have no iron production buildings, so I will need that to start working as well. But I can get a couple more units on the field, and let's swap here. Slowing down time a bit so I have a little more time to plan this stuff out. Push that button. Okay, the Druid of the Badger camp I definitely want to get down as well, so let's do that. Move it here, and then we'll just do this for now. And currently, that's not iron or wheat, which are the things we need, but I guess I'll take the tree. We'll need more wood eventually as well. When I planned these waves, I did not know that the toughest enemy in every wave was going to be respawning, which really messed me up. Fortunately, we got a trader here, so we've got extra ore. I do want that. 40 random basic resources, also pretty good. Hospitals give morale, or I could build Ballista Factory. The Ballista Factory seems pretty nice. The firing range is also nice. I think I just need more troops. We're just really suffering in terms of the number of troops we have. So let's pull some wells off the field so I can do a little more moving things around. I also need to open up some more of these spaces. So let's get the firing range out there. That oh no, wait, they do cost wheat. So let's do it like this, and then we can get 2 musketeers, and then we'll try to replenish these other troops as well. We do have our 2 easy waves, although that's 20 swordsmen, which is going to be pretty challenging in and of itself. I need to wait for... no, these guys just take wood to build, so this we can just do, and we'll get our Druid of the Badger here. This takes gold, so let's move over and we'll get another Whitman. These guys take 10 wheat, which we can do. These guys take 20, and the assassin takes 30. So once I've built the Whitman here, it's back to the wheat grind. I also don't need to start... I also don't need as much gold as I used to, so... I'm gonna sell up to like 200, 300 gold, something like that, and then we'll start stockpiling metal for when we have troops that need that. And then here, I'm really running out of water. Let's just move the big well back here. We'll take a production speed penalty for a bit, but that's okay. I think I've got enough wheat now to rebuild all 3 of these troops, right? Because that's 10, 20, and 30. Yeah, so we do. All right, so now we've got our Badger Druids. And they'll turn into Badgers as we start fighting. Unfortunately, they're getting really overwhelmed here. So let's rebuild them as well. But we didn't lose our really expensive troops this time, and that's the big thing for us right now, is that I was able to survive the most expensive, or the most expensive troops were able to survive. Okay, let's get... I don't need a levy barracks. Building upgrade, and I guess just some production buildings are fine. An infrastructure building I do want, and I want some more spells so we can survive the harder waves after that. Let's get a veteran barracks and a troop training, but I want that a little later. Yeah, I think we can do like this. Building upgrade, 100 gold or 20 castle HP. Let's go with a building upgrade. And that will let me get Ooh, that's really nice. Efficiency for metal, or +2 longbowmen, or 100% HP. Wow, all of these are awesome upgrades. Right now, I think I'm worried more about my troops. So I'm going to go with the longbowman camp. And then I need more wheat, obviously, because we always need that. But as soon as I have that, I should be able to get a couple more really powerful units on the field, because we've already upgraded these guys once. This crystal mine, we're still just not using crystals for anything, so let's put a construction building here, and that could be another wheat field. Gotta get my hospital working as well. I'm swapping back and forth a lot more than I like between different buildings, but we're just running into the need for pretty much everything. So it's starting to get a little hectic here. All right. I think we can take this fight, though. And that'll get me 2 spells, which is really good. Let's also go over here and we can get another longbowman on the field. Although the doubled Cyclops is going to be a real pain. Lost all our peasants and the poor assassin who dies every time. Let's get a small wheat field because I need faster wheat production here. Yeah, because the highest health enemy being duplicated just means that the back line is living so much longer. I haven't seen that penalty before. The Forge can passively increase our ranged characters, or we can get more musketeers. I think just more musketeers. I really just need more units. The brick factory I also want, because my castle is pretty hurt. Let's go with resurrect dead bodies and chain lightning, and that should help us win our next fight. And then here, what do I need? I need water. We're kind of good on. I definitely want to put down this wheat field at some point. Let's go ahead and cycle here, and we'll pick up just 90 wheat. And back over here. Try to get some troops on the field. This is also just going to be a wheat field. And we'll put down a raised militia as well. Oh, right, I have these worm riders too, but they also cost wheat. I really didn't think that would be such a bottleneck. All right, so I definitely need a spell for this fight, and I think I'm just going to need 2. Because I need to build back up my massive troops is the problem. Actually, we just, again, don't have enough wheat for that, so let's go back over here. 2 basic productions. We'll get a gold mine and another gold mine. Great. And a veteran barracks. I don't have enough water for that. I don't have flour, so let's get the Academy of Fire, because we can build ore from that. And then I need an iron mine, because we're starting to run pretty low on iron as well. I'm going to move the market here, because I now have a gold mine, so I don't need the market as much, and I need to actually start collecting ore. Let's put down this iron mine, because I need that. Or start collecting metal. And now we've got 130 wheat. That should be enough to build our troops back up. I think this is fine. We'll just let it tick out here for a bit. We're wasting a little bit of production, but that's okay. Okay, now we're up to 20 troops. That's a lot better. And then here, I really want to get this Worm Rider thing down, but we can't yet. So let me just... anything that we really want here. I could build the brick factory. It costs clay. Let's wait on that, and I'll just... I think you just need more wheat. Someone give me a quick count on how many times I've said wheat in this playthrough. All right, basic production. Let's take another gold mine and a great bush. And troop training. higher health on our ranged units. We've got so many of those. I need more flour because I currently have none. We'll want that eventually. And then I have ways to make metal, but not flour. So let's just take the 90 flour here. That can let me get like more powerful elite troops later on. Gonna run out of these 2 buildings pretty soon as well. But I really want to mine out a couple more tiles, so I'm gonna let that happen. Let's put down the grape bushes here and need the clay mine as well. And then over here, I do want the Academy of Fire. They cost wheat when we start building them. But let's go ahead and do that. And do I have any peasants currently? I do not. So we're actually running out of troop space. I've finally managed to max out on my troops. I'm going to swap my troop production mode to spawn to capacity, so then it's going to put some of them in the barracks, and we can choose which ones we actually want out on the field. I gotta get rid of this assassin. He's dying every time. Alright. Things are looking a little better now. Every arcane unit, 1,000 water is kind of nice. Temporary crossbowman at the start of every wave, or just a troop upgrade. Let's just get the troop upgrade. I could also have built one of these more advanced buildings, but we don't have the resources to support it. And then here we've got a bunch of arcane units, so we'll take that. What I'm going to do here as well is I want the fire mage on the field. They do really good DPS, although the longbowmen do as well, but the crossbowmen we can send back to the barracks. And let's go. Let's mine some wheat. I like this game because it's turn-based, or real-time with pause, so you can take your time to think, but it's also frantic enough that there's stuff to be doing all the time. Okay, gold is starting to be an issue, and I actually don't have enough gold to... I don't have enough gold to build a gold mine right now, so I'm going to go ahead and mine enough gold that I can put one down. Because gold mines cost 75 to build, and yield 200, so you need enough gold to, make it worth it. Okay, so we've got the boss fight. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to demolish this well, and we'll move this wheat production building and the clay building, because I want more units of any kind on the field. So I'm going to get the worm riders coming out as well while we're fighting Volcar. Trying to do this with no spells is going to be really challenging. Let me also get some resources, because there might be something here that we need. Yeah, I think just to replace our troops as they die. To the boss here. This boss is really bad for us. Oh no. It just one-shot our entire army. 30% increased damage is, it really does it to you, huh? Let me speed up production to get these guys starting to get replaced. Spawn our remaining sad units from the barracks. What are we out of? We're, of course, out of wheat. So let me get over the wheat production building. Oh boy, we got to select a gold mine. Yeah, so I think when this... we're definitely going to lose here, I think. When this snowballed against me was when I just didn't have any good troops for the first boss. So we just got flattened by the first boss and then just never recovered economically. All right, we got him to his second stage. So, we can hold our head up high. I also need more gold. Right now, I'm not building any units because we have neither wheat nor gold. Let's see, what do these guys need? They need metal and wheat as well. He also just one-shots our guys, too. We have nothing that can tank the boss here. If I had more money, like if we'd been able to build up a bigger economy before taking this fight, I think we would still be in okay shape. But as it is, I just never recovered. And there we go. All right, well, that was fun. I really enjoyed that, and I'm definitely going to come back at it with a better strategy. If, let's take a look at the meta progression for this game as well. So we get these town denarii and then ascension crystals, and we can spend these in these 4 categories of meta progression. I've just been buying stuff kind of at random. My philosophy with this kind of like roguelite with meta progression is you'll get it all eventually anyways, so don't sweat it too much. Ooh, a random starting spell, though, that's probably really important, because that can help you take much greedier starting waves. And let's see, what else can we get that's exciting? I could get some new kings. I haven't unlocked any of the new ones yet because I wanted to climb the difficulties. Or some new advisors. I'm going to unlock a new king. Let's unlock King Leonid and King Leo. Sure. And then I can try those out some other time. All right, my friends, I hope you enjoyed this look at The King is Watching. Honestly, I've been having a blast with this game. It's so creative. The combinations that you can come up with are really cool. That's the first time I've lost as well, which is nice. I always really like it when I'm learning a new game and I lose, because there's I've played a lot of games in this genre, and there's a lot of games that don't present a challenge to more experienced players. So it's really nice to see that this game actually does. If you enjoyed this game and want to see more of it, definitely let me know in the comments. I will be playing it on my own time for sure, so if people enjoy it, I may very well post more. And of course, if you have enjoyed the video in general, feel free to leave a comment and hit like. Helps me out with the algorithm, so I appreciate you taking the time to do that. And of course, you can subscribe to my channel for more strategy game analysis. Cheers, folks. I'll catch you next time.